Hey guys, I'm Daisho and I'm here at Plains Magic, and today I am bringing you Draft, and this is round 2. I won my round 1 game, it was really close, took a while, and yeah, so we're moving on to round 2 here. My opponent leads off with a Concordia Pegasus. He obviously won his round 1 game also, so I'm expecting somewhat of a good fight, at least, from him. I mean, my deck's not that good that I can just beat anyone over the head pretty easily. But anyway, he plays a Concordia Pegasus turn 1 or turn 2 and a Sunspire Griffin turn 3. And all I really have is a Selesnya here, and so he's getting in there in the air. His like flying offensive is pretty mighty, and then he's going to even play another 2/1, the Fairy Imposter here. So now he's got, and then he can just replay his Sunspire Griffin. So now he's got 5 power flying by turn 4. And I mean, he's in pretty good shape right now. But luckily for me, I'm going to be able to play a Concordia Pegasus, and that's going to do a good job of stabilizing. I mean, not an excellent job, but now he can't attack with his Fairy Imposter, and I can block his Sunspire Griffin. So it's a pretty good, pretty nice there. But he plays an Inaction Injunction here, and that means that he's going to be able to push through another 5 damage. So now I'm down to 11, really before I can do much about it, and that's not good. An Inaction Injunction is an interesting card. I mean, detaining a card is definitely not worth a full card for him, but the fact that you get to cycle it definitely helps. But the problem is, like, you're playing a certain amount of spells, you're playing some amount of spells in your deck, and so when you draw a card, you're not really getting a spell. It doesn't say draw a card until you get a non-land. Sometimes you can draw land, so it's really only like 60% of a card when you draw it, and then probably the 40% is made up in detaining. So I think it is worth a full card, and it's only 2 mana, so it's not too big of a deal. But anyway, let's go back to my last turn where I played Tristani, and that was just really, really important. Tristani is just going to be a huge thing in stabilizing for me. I'm down to 10, and he's just playing more flyers. But the Concordia Pegasus is doing a good job of holding off his Fairy Imposter, and right now I'm going to be able to basically just completely stabilize and play another creature, and since Tristani just gains me so much life, it's pretty awesome. We were looking up, oh yeah, right here I'm going to play Centaur's, Courser's Accord, sorry, and gain 6 life and get 2 Centaurs, but yesterday me and my friends were looking up random cards, and one of them was, I don't know what the name was, but it was 3 white for an enchantment, so it's not even a creature, and it just said basically what Tristani says: you gain life equal to creature's toughness when it enters the battlefield. So I mean, like, that card, it costs more mana and it does less. So and then Tristani, and I mean, it's way older, but still pretty relevant. So he plays another Azorius Kieran. So all he's done this game is play flyers, and I mean, all I really have is the one flying blocker. So he's not in great shape, especially since I can start populating the Centaurs, and he's only dealing 3 to me each turn, and I'm gaining 3 just off the Centaurs, and I can start attacking him with my Centaurs, so I am definitely still in pretty good shape. But here's something that'll put me even in better shape, which is just a Towering Indrik. So I'm going to gain another 4 life, go back up to 17, and that makes all of his attacks pretty bad. So that was just a really good draw for me. I think I just drew it, but anyway, end of my turn. He's going to Avenging Arrow one of my Centaurs, which is pretty good for him. If he can get all my Centaurs off the board, then that means I can't populate them with Tristani. And unfortunately, on this turn, just the way the mana worked out, I only have 2 mana left open, one from the Kirun and one from the one of them is just a land, but sorry. And I really wanted to play the Towering Indrik there, so I wasn't able to populate this turn. So all he really needs to do right now is just have an instant way to kill a Centaur, and then I'm in pretty bad shape. But he does play Soul Tithe on my Tristani, and that's gonna like clog up my mana. There's no way I'm getting rid of Tristani, because even just what I have on board, I can probably win. I need to draw some lands. That would be really nice, and looks like I did. I did draw a Plains there, so that's pretty awesome for me. And now I can actually use Tristani's Populate ability if I need to, but first I'm just going to swing in with my Centaur. He's going to, looks like, double block, and probably I'm going to populate it or play a combat trick. He double blocked with his Concordia Pegasus and Fairy Imposter, so it looks like I probably have a combat trick in hand that I'm going to play. Yep. I'm gonna Selesnya Charm it, so that way I still get to push the damage through and my Centaur lives. The thing is, if I had just populated it, then I would have still had the 3/3 Centaur, but I would not have been able to get any damage through. Though I would have gained 3 life, which could be relevant, and I wouldn't have been able to kill both of his cards. I would have only been able to kill probably the Pegasus, and then the Fairy Imposter would have survived, so I think Selesnya Charm was probably the right play, especially since I could survive it. So I made a mistake there. I actually drew my card before I tapped the lands. I was going to tap them anyway, but that is something that if I did that in like a real tournament, then I would be in big trouble for. But luckily, we're just basically amongst friends, so even though I made that mistake, he was able to forgive me. So I play another Selesnya Charm, and again, that's just really bad for him. He doesn't take any damage this time, and he does get to draw a card, but now all he's left with is a key rune, and what I have on board is just way overpowering, and it's just really hard for him to come back. But what he does have here is an Avenging Arrow, and that's bad for me because that was my last Centaur. So playing the combat tricks was good for me. It got rid of his creatures, but in the process I did lose my Centaurs, and again I forgot to do that. But like, yeah, it's just really bad when you miss triggers like that. Since we're playing friendly games, or not really, like we're not playing competitive rule set or whatever, it's not a big deal. But in competitive game, I probably would have gotten a game loss, or at least my Tristani. No, I wouldn't have gotten a game loss. My Tristani would have just died, and that would have just been unfortunate. But he's just gonna block my Concordia Pegasus with his key rune and take 4, going down to 9, and then I probably have a play here. At least I should have a play here. Otherwise I should have just attacked with the key rune. But yeah, there we go. I got a Seller of Songbirds, so I'm going to gain some life, and I get a bird along with it. So that's good because I can start populating that if I need to. I probably don't need to, but here I actually finally remember. And he's like, "Good job, buddy." And I'm just like, "Yeah, I'm an idiot, I know." But yeah, anyway. So now I've got 4 mana available to me. I've got some dudes on board, and again, all he's got is a key rune, but he's got some cards in hand. He's looking through his sideboard now, I think, but that's not too big of a deal. So I'm just going to activate my key rune. Yeah, I'm going to activate my key rune and just attack with everything. And right now I'm going to swing in for 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm swinging in for 10, so he's got to block something that's not 1 power in order to survive, so that's why it's okay to swing in with the Stellar Songbirds and the little bird, because he's got to block something bigger. So he's probably just going to, oh yeah, I remember what he's going to do. He's going to block the Selesnya key rune, and yeah, that makes sense. That's probably the best thing for him to block, but he also has the Swift Justice, so he's able to kill it, gain some life, and yeah, so I don't know. I mean, Swift Justice is an okay card, but it is definitely one of the less viable, or less useful, rather, combat tricks. It's not as good as Giant Growth or Savage Surge or Selesnya Charm. Those are all partially green, and that's basic. There's a reason for that. I mean, they gave green the best combat tricks for a reason, because it has no removal, so it really needed it. But it is definitely makes up for it, or not definitely, but just having no removal in your entire colors just really, really hurts. So right now I'm just going to be able to swing in for game, just going to keep my lands tapped, and I'm going to switch it up, but he really has to have something important here, and he doesn't. So that's going to be game 1. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a nice day. Bye.